Good evening and welcome. Lovely to be here again. I have some nice little surprises to break open today, and I'm going to be doing you a sneak peek of some Sale-A-Bration items coming up. Now, I've just had, sorry, I'm running a little bit late today. I've just come off my Zoom call, and then Smudge decided to call at the door, and now the other one, Tiggs, has just jumped on the table opposite me, so they are both in here with me. So as they say, don't work with animals or children. So whatever havoc they're going to cause, they are literally on the desk and sitting beside me here. So hopefully somebody will come on live. I've not been able to put up a post on my Facebook group, so sadly that hasn't gone up. Facebook just isn't allowing me to post on my business page, and it's to do with clicking from the personal to the business, and I understand that, and I have to do it each time, but for some reason today it's just not letting me switch over. So there's no pre-warning gone up today. So hi Shaz, nice to see you. We're up and running, so that's good. So a little bit of a sneak peek, and I'm just going to say first of all to get the dues over and done with. So here we go. Don't look so worried, Smudge. Mummy is home today. There you go. We did have a lovely Christmas. Thanks, Sandra. We have just got back from Wales today, this afternoon. We went over to see sister-in-law Boxing Day evening. And then we spent all day yesterday and we came back today. So bit of a flying visit. Hi Lynette, lovely to see you. Right, let's get down onto the table. Oh, there we go. So it's gone up in the post now to say I'm on, and Anne, hello, Anne's on YouTube over on that side, so that's good. Let me get you across there, and if I do that like that, I can get a little picture of me in the corner. There we go. Yeah, baby's made an appearance. The other one is around here. The door is open, so anything could happen. So let's just fly by the seat of her pants. Hey, I'm good at doing that, aren't I? So some products from Sale-A-Bration that's up and coming. I haven't been over yet, Lynette, with your catalogue. They will be coming out. I had a big going round on the 2 days before Christmas, but unfortunately I literally ran out of time Christmas Eve. So they will be coming out in the next few days. So adorable owls. This seems a bit of a funny angle on this camera today. We seem a little bit tipped, don't we, on there? So let's just see. I think that's okay. So adorable owls and playing in the rain are two sets. This one is a free Sale-A-Bration set. So this is going to be with a purchase of £45. You'll be able to get this completely free. Okay, and then this was one of the ones I got out of the mini catalogue that's coming up, and it's playing in the rain. So I've deliberately kept away from Christmas now. We're done Christmas, so I'm itching to get on with some new things. So these are three little critters, and I thought with the critters from here, these are nice as well. So I can have a whale of a time with playing with these ones. So this, I have got a big project I've got to do with this one. So a tutorial that I'm sharing, a global thing I'm running with that. So that's going to have quite a few projects done with that. So looking forward to playing with that. And there are dies with this. So the dies, I took a photocopy when I get the original pack, but then I've put them onto the magnetic sheets. So they are all on there like so. These aren't, the kites aren't on the stamps, but there are some extra dies like this gate. Look at this. Oh, one of my projects I want to use with the gate. It's a bridge, sorry, not a gate. It's a bridge. But you put it on that way up. It's actually is a bridge over the water. So there's some nice things in there. Obviously the three critters, some clouds, bow ties. These are the little ties that go on here, and you've got the kite pieces that go diagonally. So you can have two-tone kites, a puddle, umbrella, all sorts of nice pieces in there. So looking forward to that one. I've shown you this because I'm going to show you the paper. I'm not using this one tonight. I'm going to be using the owls tonight. So that's just to say, here's a sneak peek, and this is one I can show you. They are gorgeous, and I've got some nice things planned with that. So in my long car journey, 4 hours each way, we had a good run, both directions, but bearing in mind it was dark in the car going, I actually did have my laptop on, my MacBook was on, and I was wording some instructions. So this is the paper that goes with the playing in the rain set. So this is this one. Okay, let's move those over off the camera for a little bit. Just a bit squashed here. So these papers first, we'll do these ones, and I'll show you the other ones that were hiding underneath. So I have a few bits and pieces. Oh look. Only 2 sheets of that one. You can't see that one yet. That will have to be another day. I've got lots to show you, lots and lots. So I think I should have 2 runs of these. So if I just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, we should be okay with that, I think. We've got 6 sheets. So this is my favourite, by far the favourite. This is a beautiful sheet. Now these can make long cards coming down this way. You could probably make 3, possibly 4, depending on your measurements maybe. But this, you could cut a piece out from the middle of that for a tall, skinny card and still use the piece at the top and the piece at the bottom. Okay, I'm going to be working on some cutting plans that will help sort of kind of talk that one through, and that will definitely be used on the work that I'm doing. So the back of that one is some gingham check that goes with the yellow in here. Okay, so I'm going to put that one out of the way. These, oh, just to point out, these have got the clouds are actually clear embossed. Can you see that they're shiny? So those clouds are actually raised, they're clear embossed. And the same with this rain. This is a nice rain paper. Obviously a stormy cloud, but some of this is, the raindrops are actually shiny again. If I tilt that, you might be able to see that. See that in the, yeah, you can just see that, those shining, can't you? And then this one's a different one, but it's, again, it's a bit heavier, just gradiating down. So it's the same, and that's got your embossing, clear embossing on there as well. It's just on those raindrops. So that's good. I've started hacking about at this one. So maybe you want to see the other sheet. You want to see this sheet and not the bits. Because I took some with me to fussy cut. Because I have to be busy while I'm away. I can't sit and do nothing. So that's nearly full sheet. So this one here is the one that you can use with the dies. So I'm kind of doing the 2 because I'm using one of the papers tonight. So this is where you see the critters in here. So these critters, 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. 3 critters are all on the dies. So you'll be able to cut those out. Okay, these little flowers, I'm going to freehand those ones. So that's really nice. And on the back of that one, we've got some pinky stripes. But that matches with the umbrella here. But I can see me just cutting these ones out. So it's going to be good. This one are some smaller images. There's no dies for this. But it is a nice background sheet if you're into scrapbooking. And again, the raindrops and the outlines of the umbrella are shiny. Okay, oh, and the other side of that one is some raindrops. Okay. So this one, again, I've taken a piece off to start fussy cutting. These are umbrellas, closed and open, and these are all shiny. You can see that on there, look. You can see the paper glistening on there. And then we're back to this one again because that was repeating through. So they are the papers that are going to be used in that set. And then I've got another set of papers. I was going to use the daisy field with the clouds. That's what I had out to use for tonight. However, I think talking on my Zoom call just now, I think I've talked myself out. So I've got to show you a different set that again is Sale-A-Bration. So these are free as well. Coming up on the 5th of January, you'll be able to get these free. So I think I'm going to use this one here. Now this is a 12-inch and there's 12 sheets. So this one here, you can cut through the middle. I'm going to use later. And we're going to cut this into 6 panels and you will get 6 card fronts. Easy peasy. Okay, so that's the first one. And on the back, we've got some nice greenery as well. Okay, and then these are all wildflowers. These are actually called Dainty Garden, I think. Dainty Flowers. So Dainty Flowers Designer Series paper. So they're all wildflowers. They're nice, really nice touch. So there you go. These two the same of each one. So that's the front, nice, delicate. And then we've got the, oh, look at these on the back. Look at those splodgers. Now we could make those splodgers ourselves actually, so don't worry about wasting these because we can make those. Use the beautiful paper on the front here. Okay, so that's that one. That's another of the same sheet. Now these look very interesting because again, these can be made into panels. So if we cut across here and across here, we could use this as side panels on a card, and we could use these pieces as a decorative panel on a card. And I can see some nice things being done with those. So you will be seeing me over the 2 months of Sale-A-Bration Sorry, I didn't show you the back. Oh yes, I did. Splodgers. You will see me going through these regularly during the Sale-A-Bration period. So these are some all greens. These are ferns on a pale green background, and the lilacs on the back. Very nice, very pretty. They are dainty flowers. They're gorgeous. Love this one because these are my colours. I love these colours on here. If I bring it up to the camera, look at those. Absolutely gorgeous. And then if you turn one over, I'm going to turn those over. It's a blue checked on the back, which will go with some of the others, flowers. And then these are multiple colours. Okay, look again, bring those up to the camera, it's easier. And then on the back, we've got the pinky colours as well. They are just so gorgeous. So I'm going to get all of those out of the way. Having changed my mind, I'm going to put them on the chair now the cats have disappeared. Okay, and I'll get that stamp set out of the way. And I'm going to grab a trimmer and we're going to make some panels on here. Now, part of me wants to say the easiest way to cut these is to cut down the middle at 6 inches. If you want to do a standard size card, then that will be the best way to do. So cut it down here, you butt it up against your trimmer to the edge here is 6 inches exactly. So that is halfway. If you wanted to make a long tall card, Mummy, you dared to put papers on my chair. Here we go, madam. So that's her happy now, hopefully. So if you wanted to make this into a long tall card, you could move this over so it's closer towards these flowers but still clearing the top of them, okay, in here. So you could have a shorter strip and a longer strip for this side. So this side could then be your long tall card. Okay, but for today I am going up to this 6 inch mark, so it's halfway, 6 inches, and I'm going to take that down like so. Take that one away onto the pile. Now, because it's just easier to make it into 3 sections. Now, I want my panel to be, my base card would be 10.5 centimetres, and it would be on the halfway, the 10.5 there. So I'm taking these at 10 centimetres. If I do 3 pieces at 10 centimetres, they're going to be nice, even panels. Then I can adjust the top, the length as I want. The 12-inch papers are actually measure 30.5 centimetres. So you end up with your tiny little 0.5 on the end there, okay? You can save it, but it's highly unlikely that won't get used. So that's the 3 panels there, just varying in colour, just slightly. Okay, so I'll work out which one I'm going to do in a minute. Possibly one here that I've got a bit of gap that I can put in my owls. Okay, let's get those out of the way. My base colours to go with those, I have, whoops, reach them back over on here. On the back of your packs when the papers come, they actually detail on the back here all the colours that are listed. So we have Blushing Bride, we have Crushed Curry, Fresh Freesia, Mossy Meadow, Old Olive, Rich Raspberry and Starry Sky. So they are the colours that are in them. The colours I had out provisionally was the ones that were going to go with the other papers. So I'm wondering now whether I just switch back and do that one after all. I think I will. They're both going to get used. They're both going to be seen. So, as this is the card stock that I've brought to the table, I think I'm actually going to cut a 10 centimetre panel down here. Like so. And we'll go back to plan A. Now, this I'm going to do onto my card, but I'm going to make the card up first and then we'll come back to see what we want to actually do with it. I can't show you the inside of the catalogue yet, sadly. So what I can do is just show you the actual products that I'm using. So I'm going to have this as a background. Okay, this is Balmy Blue. And then we're having a sheet of the white out as well. So because I'm just showcasing some new products, I am actually going to do quite a simple card tonight. I'm going to do another easel card. So I'm cutting my cardstock in half. Just on the 10.5 each side. and chopping that away. And then this will be scored in half at, my dots are on here, you know, I have my little red dots, 14.85. So those watching from the States, hi Sheila, nice to see you on here. And Clients Marvel Corner, whoever you are, welcome, nice to see you on here. I trust you're another crafter. You're new here, and I can see that. So there's my card folded in half. So I have a standard base as a tent, and then I'm going to have half of this one again. So this time I'm going on to my 14.85 and I'm going to cut it. So I have one piece left over. So there is my card, and this will be my easel. So if you've seen me do the easel cards before, then you'll know that everything's halves. We've cut this other sheet in half to make the front, and I'm now going to score this front panel in half again. Okay, so 14.85, we're looking at 7.4 here. So for inches, people, just half your imperial size, half and then half again, and you'll be fine. And then this one, we're going to bend that half inwards. Okay, there is our easel. So half a sheet, scored in half again. The other half, we're using half a sheet here. Okay, so that makes sense, kind of like 3/4 really. Get that out of the way. So I'm going to attach those two together, because once it's built, it will make sense. Don't put that on the chair, because Madam might just tell me to move things off her chair. So I'm going to fold this here. I've just creased that in half. I'm going to put the adhesive on the front corner of that. Okay, and then I'm going to line this up so that this is dead exactly measuring over the top of that. Okay, and I've got my bone folder here, so I can score over that. There we go. Now when I bend this back, this is our easel. Okay, so this is the mechanism. Then we're going to have something on here that will stop it from sliding shut. Just move that slightly. I think that's a little bit off. Okay, if I press on that nicely, I can show you what we do, because if that is slightly out on the size there, for some reason, I don't have a tape measure ruler to hand, because they went away with me. Let me use my boxes on here. Just a little slither there. Now I have a guillotine off camera here. I'm just going to use this. It's not a Stampin' Up one, it's just a very old one that I'm just going to take that down and chop that off. Okay. If you have a little slither to take off, just like so, it's a tiniest little bit. Okay, it's I wouldn't do it on a trimmer that's got a slider on it. So I haven't got my Stampin' Up one out, the little tiny one. But that's what I would normally have used on there. But that's fine, it's all matching now, so it's fine. So there is my base card, okay? Now, we will be treating the inside in a little while, but we want to have a panel on here, but we want some of each. So we want some clouds, we want some grass at the bottom here, but I might want to do a white layer in between. So I'm going to cut a white layer just to break up the two different layers here. So I'm going to do this again, standard sizes. We're going to go to 14.3, or we'll do 3 mils underneath. So I'm going to do 14.5, and I'm going to do 3 mils under, so 10.5 come down to 10.2. Okay, this is just because I think it wants a little bit of a break. The papers and the card do coordinate beautifully. Okay, that will fit just inside the front there. Let me just get that out of the way for a minute. So this will just be 3 mils short of the edges. So you've got 1.5 mils on each side, and that will fit on there like so. And then we will take this one and we'll decide whether we want more clouds. I'm going to trim this down. Whether we want more clouds and a little bit of the flowers, or we want more clouds. We can slide this exactly where we want. Now I think I kind of would like that there. So what I'm going to do is grab a pencil and just make a little mark on here as to where I'd like to cut. Okay, and then we can work our measurements back from that. Okay, so there's my little pencil mark. Do you see how I'm doing? I'm just lining it up from the actual view of the card. This will not be wasted. This can be used on another card, and I can use with the back of that as well. So that can go over there for now. And then we want this to be, just scribble this down where you want to post it note. So I had 14.85 by 10.5 was my card. Okay, you can see that on there, can't you? And then I went down to 10.5 by 10.2. So now I'm going to take off just a few millimeters again. So I'm going to take this one down to 10.2. So if I go 3 millimeters times 9.9, okay, and that will be the DSP, and that will be white. So it's just coming 0.3, 0.3 down both sides, okay? Just makes sense. Sometimes I have to write it down myself to make it clearer. So I'm going to do this one, come back. That's not 10.5 at all, that's the other measurement. So that's going to be 14.5. Okay, so 3 mils off there, and then that'll be 14.2. Okay, so it's that one I brought down by mistake. So 14.5 by 10.2, and then 14.2 by 9.9. As soon as I go to cut it, I know it's definitely wrong. So DSP again, double check. Yeah, there we go, and cut that one. And then this piece again, the clouds can all be used, so they're good. And I'm going to turn this and cut that at 9.9. We've just taken off that tiny little bit. If you're in inches, then that was a bit risky. 9.9, but that has worked. That's good. And if you're in inches, you're just going to work to whatever you fancy, whether you want to come down by 1/8 of an inch or 1/16 of an inch. And again, I'm just going to check those on there. I just wanted that little bit of white coming around the edges. Can you see that on there? Just to give a little bit of a border. I'll zoom you in now because you feel them miles away. Okay, when I'm down on the table like so. Okay, so we'll bring that in a little bit more. There we go, you can see me better. So those tiny little borders make that little bit of a difference. It just sets it off. Okay, and I'm not going to gut the middle of the card tonight. I'm just going to put the whole card pieces together. Okay, and I normally work upwards from the bottom, but with this it doesn't really matter at the moment. So just getting that nice even border all the way around. Okay, and this is our front of our easel, so this is going to go on the front there. Okay, round, round, round. There we go. Come on there. The millimeters do work, Linda. If you've got a good trimmer that's got the measurements on there, I think you might have the Stampin' Up one. It is easy, and next time I see you, if you like, I've got a red Sharpie pen and I just mark mine on here with my common measurements. I've got the actual base cards where I score in half or cut in half on those two measurements. Okay, and that really helps, just putting a little red dot there with a Sharpie pen. So there's our base. Okay, so our owls, I have pre-stamped some. I literally just before we came on air, as I started my Zoom call, I actually stamped a few of these, just using my Memento black ink pad. Okay, and I've stamped a few of each of those. So I didn't know what I was going to do for tonight, but I just saved a little bit of time. So I have those here. So they're going to be coloured in. There's my and there, and pop those 3 images across the top there. Okay, now these are a variety of images. I've just used some scraps of card. So I've got one that's flying, and I've got one that's just sitting on the floor. And I think this one might be better to have him actually flying through the air. And then I have a little greeting, maybe on a banner coming out, and he can be sitting. Could have one down there perhaps. Let's see. We'll try and cut it. He's not really appropriate. He's got a party hat on. I'm going to discard him tonight. He'll get used on something else though. You do need one of those trimmers. They are good because they have both the cutting and scoring blades on there. They are absolutely super duper. Now, because I didn't know what colours I was going to be using tonight, this is my wooden display. Those of you who come to my studio know this sits on its side on my shelf like so. So I have got all the colours with me, I think, apart from the in colours. So I'm going to try and find the Balmy Blue, which I know the colour base card colour is. And I've got the lightener. This is the colour lifter. So this can be used as like a bleaching. The other ones I use, I like these for faces. So we are kind of testing the water a little bit with these colours. These first ones that I've actually coloured in, but I think that might be nice for kind of like the cheeks on here. And then we have the bronze one. So there are a load more shades of the browns I'm going to get in Sale-A-Bration. Ones I particularly like to go to are grey granite. They're in there as well. Those ones are grey granite, I think, as well. Yes. And then I have crumb cake and soft suede. But we're going to just start off for a start and just see how we go. So I'm going to use a little bit of the orange. Got a dark orange and light orange. I'll do the light one, I think. And just do his beak first, because the beak's on there, because I just like them to start off. I need my glasses. Sorry, girls. Lads, if there is any watching. I'm going to try and keep my head out of the way here. Let me bring them down to the bottom. Okay, so I'm just colouring in the beak here with my blender pens. The blend pens are great because they don't, you've seen me use these before, but where children actually colour, and they have, that is the dark one, I'm going to use the light one on the edge. If you see children with felt pens and they colour in, then they actually leave scratchy lines on there. But these don't. You can get shading in with these. So I'm going to go over the light a little bit just to layer up on here. So you can put a little bit of shadow on there. I like the blends because you can layer. So you can make them darker by layering on top of. So if you've got a light colour marker and your dark has run out, then you can layer up the light, do a few layers of it, and it will bring the darkness through. So they are really good for that purpose. So I'm just going to bring this through. This is kind of an ivory colour, they call this. So I just thought for his face that might look a good one to use. And then maybe a darker just inside the colour of his eyes there. So this is a fleshy type colour. Okay, just colour around there. I'm using the larger end of the brush for the larger areas. And we have the smaller end up here. You can always tell because you've got the wide one there and the narrow one there. And then his little bib on here, I think he needs doing. Just come around the top there. And around the sides on the bib. I like his little bow tie. We'll decide on a colour for that later. So these two, I think I might use one for on the ground and one flying. Okay. The wide nibs actually give it quite easy coverage. Little face. Those of you who know my studio know that I'm an owl person. And then his little bib here. Sorry, my head's just getting in the way. And there we go. That's that one. Pop those out of the way. I think that's going to be too dark. So I'm just going to up sticks with my glasses and see what else I can bring in here. The light and the dark crumb cake, I might use those a little bit. Now you've also got the colouring, the edges here to try your colours out on. This one's quite pale, but this is a new one. Let me just try that one. One of these ran out, so I'm going to get rid of that one. It's on the way out. So there's a colour there that I quite like, but it's not really that dark. But then this one's the darker one. Oh, I need a new dark one. So this crumb cake, dark crumb cake. That's going to have to go on my shopping list. That one's running out as well. Let me just colour this in. See, that's very dark, that end. Okay, What colours do I want to do my owl? I'm changing them out here now because that's made it me concerned that that's a little bit. That's the dark. So it's dark soft suede. But again, you can see how these ones have been used more one end than the other. This one. That's been mushed to pieces. Right, that's 2 I need to replace. Oh, that's not very good, is it? So I think that we're going to end up with, I'm going to try it and I'm going to layer this up because I think this is going to be very light. Okay. So good job, Sale-A-Bration's coming up. I will be purchasing some more blends. So I've gone over that twice. And if I just do the bottom here, you'll be able to see if I do it once. Okay, and we come around the body. And the wing. So that's one colour, one layer. If I bring that up to the screen, you can see that that is one layer on the darker shade. Okay. So now if I go over again, I've done 2 on the top, but you can layer on here and you can actually build those colours so you can make your colours darker. So this is a way you could actually build your repertoire just by layering up. Okay. If you haven't got the exact shade you need, you can see it better when I've done like half of the body there. So I'm just going to layer that up twice. So this is the light crumb cake because my dark crumb cake is needs replacing. So I quite like him like that. I want orange. I'll give him orange feet. I'm going to do that little piece behind his beak and on that one. Okay. So I'll do the same on this one, and then I will cut those out and they can sit on the, we'll make a little greeting and then he can sit on the greeting. Okay, that's the first layer, a little bit under the beak, rest of his body. I'm not keeping up with many comments, am I? Love the pens. Yes, definitely. Poor owl. What was the poor owl? Sorry, Linda. What did the poor owl? What was the poor owl for? Just going backwards a little bit. I'll colour his feet in afterwards. I love the blends. I really do. They are so good. The only sad thing is, obviously, the nibs do give way in time, and they last. People say, how long do they last? They last longer, depending on the amount you use them. If you use them every day, they won't last as long as if you use them once a month. Just store them laying down so the ink is evenly distributed in there. And look after the nibs. Don't scrub with it, just stroke with it, and they will last longer. Obviously, by doing classes, I can't watch everybody with the pens that I have. Okay, so that's those ones. I didn't need the blues. I don't know why I got the blues out. Okay, so I'm going to do something just on a pale, just inside his eyes. We'll do the blue actually. Let's just see what this looks like in his eyes. We can do that. Just on the actual inner eye here, I'm going to give him some blue eyes. This is the pale, the light balmy blue, which matches our cardstock colour. Okay, and that's just one layer. There we go. And I think I might give him a bright blue bow tie, the darker one. Okay, so we're going to colour him in with the finer nib, because that'll just tie all our colours in together. And you'll see with the colouring there are no streaky lines. And then go back to the oranges. We have the light pumpkin pie. And I'm going to just do his feet. Oh, he's cute, isn't he? Very cute. Concentrate and colour them in so I don't go over the lines. Just that pale colour in here I need at the moment. And I think we're there. them together. Just try this on here. So I'm using this one. This is the ivory again. So I've done the facing ivory, but I'm doing this twice. I'm layering it up, okay, to give a difference in shading. So the body just, the eyes and the body just had one coat. So I'll have one first, and then we'll go over with the second. Just change the colours through. There are, like I said, in the catalogue, there are lots of shades. There's some other natural shades in there. And I haven't got them yet, but they will be adding through my shopping during Sale-A-Bration. So I'm going to put all of those, just lay them across there for now. And scissors need to come out, the snips to fussy cut. Not in there. There's these ones. So 4 new comments. Oh, let me scroll back down. The owl that was put aside, oh yeah, sorry, he will get used. He will definitely get used. He's a party cat, owl, isn't he really? So I've got to get these pieces, the excess off here, just to make it easier for me to cut out. So get rid of the excess card. Those of you who know my fussy cutting, okay, start anywhere possible, wherever you want to start. And I leave a tiny little white border. With the owls, because he's going to be floating on the scenery, I want to leave a very narrow border just to give him a little bit of an outline. And you can see on here that I'm just moving the card as I go. Okay. I love them. Yeah, I'm a bit of an owl freak. There's a, I forget what it was called, something hoot, have a hoot or something like that. There was a set previously, recently, probably last year, have a hoot, or it's a hoot, something like that, and that has got owls, beautiful owls in that one. I won't be getting rid of that one. If you know my studio, you know my owl curtains and lots of owl ornaments in here. So yes, I've had lots more for Christmas as well. I'm just bringing around here, just getting rid of those excess pieces. I don't want to cut his little whiskers off, so I'll cut around those. And around his ears. If you are mass producing anything like this and you're colouring them, I take things on holiday with me. Like I said, I took some pieces to fussy cut in the car, except our journey on Monday was in the dark, so I couldn't see much then. So I was on the laptop. And then coming home today, I've been doing more on the laptop. But I can't sit and do nothing. I get rather bored. And I'm lucky I'm not car sick. Beginning to enjoy fussy cutting, are you? Well done, Linda. I'm pleased to hear that. It is therapeutic, I think. And it's something you can do on a lap tray in front of the telly. If you're not a car sick person, I recommend you taking a lap tray in the car. It's much more comfortable when you've got a laptop on your lap, instead of just, you know, every time husband brakes or pulls up for someone braking sharply in front or something like that, you don't want your laptop falling off your lap. If it's on a tray, it's got a bit of grip to it. It's much more comfortable. I've got a beanbag one underneath. I forgot last time, but it went today with us. Okay, so I'm nearly there on this one. Just tiny little border, and there's movement around next door, so I can hear in the kitchen. So apologies that the door's open. The cats have disappeared, haven't they? They want the door open. Idle chatter while I'm fussy cutting here, look. There we go. So there's one little one cut out. Now, there is a little piece in between his legs there. Now, I'm going to overcome that for you in a sec. I'll quickly cut this one as well. In fact, let's just have a look at our card. I'm just conscious of the time. Bring my card back. We've got this one. He's going to be flying, so he could be up in the sky anywhere like so, couldn't he? He could come onto another card later, or he could be sitting inside. I'm going to carry on with this one, and I'm going to do the greeting next and see how the time goes. I'm going to be using greetings from him here, and I think You can split these words off. You don't have to use these all in one go. So I think the hoot hoot, it's your day. I think that would be nice. So use that one. So I'm going to snip these out. I'm going to stamp them and then snip them out, cut them in half. So that's going to go one side. And it's your day is going to go on that. Hoot hoot my friend. I think I might do hoot hoot my friend. There we go. And I always have a good supply of scrap pieces of white card, different sizes and scrap pieces. So pieces like this always come in handy. That one we do actually. Down there, move you. So our black Memento black ink. This is going to have one stamped on one piece, okay, and the other one stamped on the other piece. These are the first time these stamps have been inked up, so sometimes I do like to do those onto a scrap of paper first normally. Okay, so these ones here, I do have a good straight eye and I do have long scissors. So with long scissors, if you want to only use half a greeting, you can come along here with a good straight eye and just one long cut. If you try and do it with these little scissors, you'll go snip, 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 and it will become crooked. Okay, and I'm going to do the other side as well. Start that off and one long cut. Okay, so that's those two. Now they do need trimming down a little bit, and then I'm going to flag the ends. You want the ends to be even. Okay, so just want those to be a little bit smaller. So that's that one. Then again, one long cut. Now this one can be fussy cut. This one can be literally taking the Y down there. So we're going to zoom around that one and up and along. Okay, I hope you can see me on there. Okay, and then we're going to curl around the end. I think I've got a bit of an uneven piece of card here, but it seems to be okay. I think it's the tail end when it's been through the Big Shot, the cut and emboss machine, and it's got some scratchy lines from the plate on it. Because it's only for a greeting, you're really not going to notice too badly at all. Okay, we're going in and out of all these little pieces. Okay, can you see that nicely on the camera? So it's just turning the cardstock in my left hand here and just coming round along those edges and down the corner there and round there. There we go, and the last little snip takes those pieces away. Now this one here, the You're So Cute, I'm going to put that back in the stamp set because that could come in on another card. So I'm going to snip this in at the ends. You've seen me do this loads of times with my glasses down. So snip into the centre like so, and then snip from the end. So that's from the end into the centre, like so, and then from this end and into the centre. There. Oh, my little charm has just fallen off my scissors. Into the centre, the same distance as you did the other side, and then from the corner in, and then the corner in. And this is why our snips are so brilliant, because they snip right to that end, absolutely to that sharp point. So many scissors don't do that level of detail. Okay, so let's see where we're going to put these. Grab my faithful tweezers. Okay, so the hoot hoot, hoot hoot my friend. It's kind of had something like that. Trying to have, he wants to be sitting down there, doesn't he? And then these can be in the flowers here. So I'm going to get my Stampin' Dimensionals. Okay, the little one on his body. Now I'm going to take this. Bear with me a sec. No, I'm just going to pop off and get a little tool, just a sec. Stampin' Up don't yet have a knife, a little cutting knife. I do have one here, but it's obsolete. I can't get it anymore, and it is very, very handy. I hope Stampin' Up do bring out a knife at some point. This little piece in between his legs here. I'll try not to get my head in the way. Sorry, I'm coming down here. Look, I'm just going to take this little knife blade and just go around that middle piece, like so, and just stroke that with a knife. It has to be onto a self-healing mat like I'm leaning on here, and I've just gone down the 3 sides of that, and I'm just going to poke that little hole out of the middle. Okay, and it just falls away on the back there. Can you see that just coming away? Just let go there. Okay, so that little piece in between his legs there has gone. One of those little fiddly things, if only because I'm a bit OCD, I do rather like those to be accurate. You can leave it in. It's so small you probably wouldn't notice if I hadn't have pointed it out. Okay, so take those 3 off there, the backings in the bin. Then he's going to be flying in the air. So there's a piece of the clouds there. I don't want to cover them, so I might actually even put him up higher. Maybe just back there. So he's been good, flying in from the side, and then these are going to be raised as well. Okay, so I'll get the minis out for those. Okay, so the mini dimensionals, put a couple on there. And then this one here. Probably have some of the little slips along the edge here. Let's snip those. A couple of little bars along this edge of waist. Okay. One of those off. There we go. Let's have one that end. Take that away. And the next one is coming in there. Okay. Take that away. So, hoot hoot my friend, I think. So my friend can come there. Take these little bits off. I want them to be staggered. So if I can just have that little bit under there just slightly, they just match up rather nicely. There we go. So take those out of the way. Okay, now we've got to just quickly do the inside here. So we need another liner inside our card. So I need another piece of card in there. And for the liner can be one whole piece of white, but we need to have a little piece on the bottom here. Now remember, this piece of grass I said to you can still be used. We can actually use the bottom section of this, so we can cut a strip off there to go on here. So I'm going to give us a white liner. So from this piece here, this will be a standard liner the same size as this. So when you're cutting, you could have actually done 2 pieces the same. So this is going to be 14.5 along there, that is, and then 10.2 this way. That's going to be that one. So then this one wants to be a piece, just a few centimetres really. I think I'm going to start with 4.5 centimetres and use that for something else. And then this one needs to be taken down to that slightly narrower 9.9, just to match up with that other piece. And if you clear your track out, if you know you've got little pieces in there, clear it out as you go. Just makes life a little bit easier next time you want to use it. So this line is going to come in here like so. This is going to come on the bottom here, and when this stands on the bottom, it will continue those flowers through. Okay, so Tombow. I've just realised what would have been a better idea with my sentiments. Stick that one down, and then this one. So the grass is going to continue the flowers at the bottom here, just to keep the same theme going through. There's a little bit of wiggle room there. There. Now we need to have a stopper on here. Now, what better way than to have a little owl sitting on the bottom here? So we're going to quickly cut that one out. I'll keep that one in view there for you. So this one is a sitting down owl, and so this would be good sitting along the bottom there to act as my little stopper so that the card will stay up. Okay, so I'm whizzing around these quickly again. You can see me up to the camera here, just turning this card as I go. I probably have lost a few of you. You see me fussy cutting several times, don't you? But I haven't used the blends on air lately, so it's good to just have little refreshers because people get different audience each time. Okay, so just moving this piece of card in my fingers. Okay, and it is all about practice. The more you do, Linda says she's getting used to it and quite enjoying it. It's just practice, like everything. I tell people when we were little children, we had stabilizers on our push bikes, didn't we? So it's a similar sort of thing. When you keep doing something and you do it, it becomes part of the norm and you know exactly what you're doing. And then it doesn't become such of a chore. Look a bit silly being adults with stabilizers on our bike, wouldn't we? The lap tray is definitely a good idea. Yeah, I love it. I bought my dad for one and he used that till he passed away, bless him. And I'm still using it. What, about eight odd years later? It's lovely. It's got a little lip round it, so it stops pens and pencils rolling off as well, and scissors and things like that. Okay, nearly there with this one. Last little bit, and then this will be our stop to stop our easel from closing. Just turning the last ear there. But I'm looking forward to making some more things with these. They're gorgeous little creatures. You remember the stabilizer days? Yes, we were reminiscing the other day. I was with his sister and brother-in-law. I forget what we were talking about. Something we're going back to the days when. And there we go. So he's all cut. So he needs to be raised again, so that he's going to act as a little stop bar here to stop our card falling down. So he's going to have some dimensionals, which I've put somewhere safe, and to one side. There are the little ones. Where's the big ones gone? Oh dear, Sandra. They're under my nose. Seriously, haven't moved off my seat and they're gone. Oh well, we'll just have to have some little ones. Lots of little ones. There's one here that's lost its sticky, its backing. There we go. That should be enough actually. Then stick him inside. He can have a little one on his wing actually. There we go. Tap on the back of him, and then he's going to sit up there like so. So we're just going to want him to sit. But one that side, one that I like things in threes, maybe just offset from the centre slightly, so he's going to catch on there. Now, being me, I've got one tiny little piece I want to add to this. That's going to need to have the trimmer again. I'm just going to cut a piece off here. I've got my little baby Stampin' Up trimmer. It is the bee's knees. I love it. I'm just cutting a tiny little slither here because I like this to have a little edge to it on the inside here. Okay, just to cut off from the sentiment when you're going to put the sentiment in there. So this is going to need to be snipped there. Actually, I'm not sure whether that will. It's going to look odd if I just do it to the ends, but it will tie it in. Okay. No, I'm going to leave it because actually that will just make it actually rest on there, and it will be running through consecutively. I was just thinking that needed a little edge on there, but I think it'll look a bit strange having sky on the top of that bit, a tiny little piece, whereas when the card is up like that, I think we're going to be good. There we go. I think I like him now. I want to put a few gems on there perhaps. Dot a few gems, and then he's ready to fly away and go and find a new home. So I'm still using, these are sadly retired, but I am still using some of the festive pearls, and these mint ones take on the colour of other similar shades, and I'm loving them. So I'm going to put a few of these in the sky, and they will actually take on the colour that we want them to. They will pick up as a more bluey colour. So I've got 3 in there like so. Don't really need any on the bottom, so I think he will do. So there we go. I hope you like that one. I know you've seen me do easel cards before, but it's just bringing in some new papers and some new free products. So it's looking good. There we go. Thanks, ladies. Oh. Remember the stabiliser. You need a stabiliser for walking. Oh, bless you, Sheila. Lovely to see you the other day. Lovely to catch up. You need to come and pay me a visit. Okay, so I'm going to bring you back to me and pop the camera across and say thank you very much for joining me. Some of the catalogues have gone out. The others are on their way, and the new catalogue will start on the 5th of January. So Sale-A-Bration starts then. I will have orders, of course, going in on that first day. If anybody is interested in placing an order, I know we've got demos on here as well, then please let me know, and I will look after you and get you the best deal possible. Okay, thanks ever so much.